So when I got home today, I found out that Apple Card had gone nationwide, and just about everybody who has an iPhone is basically allowed to apply for Apple Card at this point. To which point I went directly into my wallet app and I applied for my Apple Card. Authentication and whatever credit check they do in your background, it took less than 10 seconds, and I was greeted with you're going to get Apple Card. And I applied for the titanium physical card, and it'll be here probably within 5 days. Obviously, when I get it, I'll do an unpackaging, just to show it off. Thing about it is, it's really nothing special because just about everybody's going to have it. Or I should say everybody except people who use Android and got those shitty Samsung phones like the Galaxy 10 and all that nonsense like the Galaxy Fold, which failed, and that Huawei Mate X, which is like unaffordable. But, most people don't have that because the only people who would probably have that is the reviewers. And not only that, but Huawei, I think some of their stuff is banned in America, considering Trump has sanctions on Huawei. But anyway, I have to wonder how long it's going to be until Samsung tries to copy Apple again and decides to try to make a Samsung card or Galaxy card or some nonsense in order to make people with Android not feel left out. But then again, I have to wonder, feel left out of what? Feel left out of being able to apply for a credit card, get a credit card, and be able to spend more money? The bottom line is this. I'm waiting for Dave Ramsey to chime in about how he feels about Apple Card, because I'm pretty sure sooner or later it's going to come up. But not everybody's going to have access to Apple Card because not everybody's going to pass the credit check. Not only that, not everybody's going to get the same credit limit. Some people are going to be limited to $500. Some people are going to be limited to $1,000, and so forth and so on, depending upon how good your credit score is. So in the background, this is what they told me. My credit limit is $10,000, and it has like an APR or something of 13%. The issue that I'm going to face is that I probably will never use this thing. I just want it for the novelty of having the Apple Card. To tell you the truth, I mean, I'm petty. The next time I see a Samsung user, I'm going to pull it out and show it to them. After all, until Samsung manages to figure out a way to copy Apple and make their own credit card, which by now everybody will realize how obvious it is that they're copying. If you have a Samsung phone or one of them Androids, you ain't going to have no credit card that has, the name of your phone on it and all that. And the sad thing is, it's not really that big of a deal. But I would just like to say this. It's like when my credit score, when I was first started working on building my credit, I was using my debit card for everything, and I really wasn't building my credit outside of paying for a car loan. Because the problem is, it's like people like Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman, these people have millions of dollars in cash. And the thing about it is they have shows and successful radio shows and this, that, and other. So it's easy for them to say you don't really need a credit card. But the bottom line is you absolutely do, unless you have access to piles of cash, unless your parents are paying for everything for you. It's funny because I just came back from a financial planning meeting, and they were talking about having the discipline to have credit cards but to not use them, or to only use them and then immediately pay them off. That's what I do. With my Capital One Venture card, I use it. I purchase plane tickets. I purchase whatever, car parts, whatever it is. And then that night, I pay it back. And some people say, oh, yeah, well, you don't have to pay it back immediately. And I'm like, no, I don't even want to wait till the end of the week. I don't even want to wait until the actual statement shows up. I pay it back immediately. But that takes discipline, number one. And it also takes a steady stream of money coming in order to make payments like that. Because most people, they try to wait till the end of the month because that's when they get paid. And then they try to pay the minimum payment. I don't do minimum payments. I do the full payment. So my thing is, because I get all my rewards points in order to cash those in when I go on vacation and whatnot, I get my rewards points using my Capital One Venture card. My problem is that Apple Card, unless they come with rewards that outweigh the points that I'm getting with Venture Card, well, I'll probably never use the Apple Card. Now, with Apple, you just don't know. They'll probably have some type of reward system that far outweighs what I'm seeing with my current credit card. And this won't be the only card that I have a $10,000 spending limit on. So you can believe that I have the discipline at this point to control my spending and not to go wild buying shit with a credit card. I use them when I absolutely need to use them, when that means not carrying large amounts of cash, and then I pay it back immediately. I don't wait till the end of the month. I pay it back that night. The moment that I can possibly pay it back, I'm already on my app and paying it right back. That's because I don't spend money that I don't have. There's a discipline that you have to learn. And I learned that discipline way back when I didn't have a credit card and I was using a debit card. So this was slightly before the financial crisis of 2008. And the thing about it is you used to get rewards points on your debit card. But when the banks figured out that Americans didn't have access to credit and that they were using their debit cards, what's funny is Americans actually started saving more money. And the banks said, wait a minute, these bastards aren't benefiting us. So what we're going to do is we're going to take away the rewards points and the incentives, and we're going to put that shit on the credit cards only, because we know that there's a large contingency of people who are most likely not going to pay their credit card bills on time. And then we'll get them with late fees and high interest, and we'll just fuck them left and right. So that's what they did. And the moment they did that, well, I had to come up with a plan. And my plan was to use my Venture card. So I applied for the one card that Capital One had where there was no annual fee that I figured I could use to fly around the world, get rewards points, or cash in them in so that I could pay for hotels and plane tickets and whatever, and make it really, really easy. So just about every single purchase I make on that Venture card, knowing that the next vacation I go on, parts of it are going to get paid off by using the points. When I went to South Korea, I used, what was it, like 30,000 points, and I paid off the hotel costs when I went to the Philippines. And then when I went to South Korea, I paid part of the hotel costs with that. And then I cashed in some points to purchase a plane ticket when I was in Thailand or whatever. But bottom line is this: not everybody's going to have access to this thing. Not everybody's going to have the same amount of credit. So it's important to have the discipline in order to not go into a spending frenzy. But what really gets me is when people like Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman tell people, oh yeah, well, you don't need credit cards and you should chop them up and this, that, and other. I don't think these people understand the game that America and, the world has become. First of all, because of the cost of inflation and because of rising cost of living, most people absolutely don't have the cash money saved up to go out and buy a decent used car or to buy a new car. So basically, this entire system is designed to get us to buy new cars, and if we default on them, they can take those new cars back and they'll still have enough equity in them that the banks can make some money off of them by selling them to a second person. Most people are never going to have $300,000 or $400,000 in cash. It takes, what is it? I believe it takes 30 years saving $6.66 a day with a return of between 10 and 18% in order to make what was like $450,000 or something. Some of my numbers are just a little off, but you understand what I'm saying. Most people will never have $500,000 worth of cash in their hands. Now, these people, they have radio shows. They get paid to sit there and to debt shame you. And that's like a new thing. People tuning into these people just to watch them debt shame other people. Bottom line is this: you get a car so that you prove to the bank that you can handle the amount of money they've loaned you for a car. And then you take the new credit and you go buy a house, and then you prove to the bank that you can handle a house, and then you take more credit and you try to prove that you can handle a second house. That's just the game. Most people are never going to have that level of cash, and you'll never be able to save that level of cash because the cost of living and inflation go up. So my only point is this: you got to be smart, you have to be disciplined, you have to use credit wisely. Now, I like the fact that Apple Card is coming out with ways to track your spending and to show you in a visual graphic where you're spending your money. Like for you goddamn millennials who spend all your money at shitty Starbucks. I never get nothing from Starbucks. Au Bon Pond is where it's at, but Starbucks sucks. and you people are spending like $10 a day on a goddamn latte, and some of you buy Starbucks 2 and 3 times a day. So you're spending like $20, $30 a day on some freaking coffee, whatever. But my bottom line is this. It's like, I like the idea that they can show you exactly what you're spending money on, exactly where you're spending money, and then they can itemize it for you. Will that benefit me if I don't use it? Probably not. But my thing is, I might try to use it in places that don't give reward points, but for the most part, that's like no place that you can actually use a credit card. Because what it really is they don't even want you to use the card. They want you to use your phone. The Apple Card itself is nothing but a gimmick. I already have Apple Card on my wallet because as soon as you get cleared for Apple Card, you automatically get the account on your phone, and it goes to your watch too, so you can use the near field communication. Thing about it is, the card itself is nothing more than a gimmick. It's something that you can flash at the grocery store, or you can flash it at wherever you shop. Yeah, guess what? I'm an Apple user. Haha, look, I've got this. Where's your Android card? You ain't got no Android card. Put your wallet away, loser. So it's just a gimmick. I understand it's just a gimmick. I want it. I'm an Apple ecosystem person. A lot of us are Apple ecosystem people. And you're all going to probably get that Apple Card if you have credit worth the shit. So I don't know how many of you signed up for Apple Card tonight. If you did, leave me a comment. Let me know that you signed up for it. And if you feel like making any anti-Samsung, anti-Android jokes, I'm all for it. Go ahead.